Yeah, what's up guys? It's Ashton here. It's been a while since I've done any kind of YouTube video, but you know, sometimes, you know, family matters just take over the other things that you want to do in life. So just hadn't had any time to kind of put out any video due to family, you know, family commitments. So last week, Friday, I did a video shoot, and my rig was my EOS R connected to my Ronin RSC2 paired with my Ninja V, and I was actually able to track the subject in certain instances where I really wanted to do that. So today I want to show you guys how to set up the Raveneye with the RSC2 paired with the Ninja V. Now this setup will work for the Ronin S2, but in my case I have the RSC2. The Ronin S2 was just a little bit big for what I need it for, and this works perfectly for me. So this is my rig that I had to set up. Now I'm going to undo all the wires and go step by step and show you how to connect these wires to get the correct connection to be able to active track, because you can connect the Raveneye just to visually export that image to the directors or whoever else is on set. But if the wires are not correctly in the correct formation, you will lose the ability to active track. It's not for everyone, but I just thought I know there's a lot of video on YouTube of people asking, can it be done? And yes, it can be done, but you just have to have the correct wire configurations for this to work. So I'm going to untouch all these wires first. My Ronin is actually it's already balanced for the sake of this video. I've already balanced it, and I'm just going to keep the roll axle free so I can spin and show you how the wires are connected. Now I do stress that when you balance your camera on the gimbal, you need to balance it as you will use it 90% of the time. So I've balanced mine to balance with the screen out. So even if I close it, all I have to do is do a auto tune, and the motors will adjust accordingly. But it's easier to do that than to constantly be rebalancing. But I will say, for everything you move weight wise, anything you add to the rig weight wise, you have to do an auto tune for the motors to adjust to the extra weight or the less weight or whatever it is. But the great thing about this is once it's balanced correctly, you don't ever need to balance it again. Right, so let's start. So I'm going to take out all these wires because I have to walk through them step by step with you. And it's very important that, you know, I sort of, you know, explain to you what wires go where. So at the moment, so to start with this, you're going to need, in my case, I have the EOS R and I use the EOS R use USB-C connectors. So you're gonna need this L-shaped USB connector, which comes, I think, in the box with the Raveneye. You're gonna need another USB-C type to USB-C because everything on here is USB-C type. I will explain to you. And you're going to need, in my case, you're gonna need two HDMI cable to mini HDMI cable, because the Canon EOS R use the mini HDMI and the Raveneye use the mini, not the micro, the mini. Okay, now there are lots of these wires out there in the market. I've actually got the Atomos Ninja coiled HDMI cable, and I found that to be a little bit, because it's so thick, I found it to a little bit stiff on the camera connection, and it does weigh down a little bit, and it eventually in time with that weight it's going to make the connection very loose. So I kind of stopped using it because I felt that when it was connected here, it would cause so much weight and stress on the port, and the last thing you need is for that break-in. So sometimes it's not always good to use, you know, brand stuff, because these things are built for, you know, cameras that can withhold the weight. And obviously if the camera's not moving and if you're hand holding the camera, then it's fine. But if on a gimbal, I find that when the gimbal is moving, it's a little bit weighty. So I went off and got myself these cables by Small Rig. They're not expensive, and they're very strong, and they do have these are the 50 centimeter length ones. You can get them in 30 centimeters. I thought the 30 centimeters was too short, so I got the 56 centimeter. That's correct. So first, what you want to do is, and they come with these little Velcro strap to be able to secure the cable. So first things first, what you want to do is make sure the gimbal is off, but just leave this axle free to be able to spin, because you will need to spin the gimbal to get the connections done. So first, what I like to do is I like to connect my Ninja V to the camera. So the camera's on and the Ninja V's on, and you wanna put that into the HDMI cable port on your camera. So if you're using a Sony, I think the Sony use a macro HDMI connection, but whatever camera you're using, you want to put out from the camera and into the Ninja V. And once that is done, you then want to connect the other HDMI in the output from the Ninja, and you want to put that into the Raveneye mini HDMI port. Once that's connected, you secure your wires. Now, you can secure your wires on this arm, but I found that when the camera is moving, sometimes it pushes the camera off balance and makes the gimbal kind of go into sleep mode. You don't want that. So you can either secure the cables here, you know, because to give them freedom to move, or you could put them here, but just if you are going to put them here, you know, they are going to push on the gimbal, and it might knock the gimbal out of it might knock the motors off and put them into sleep mode, and when you're filming, that's not a good thing. So what I did on the day, I actually I was using these cables, and it was a perfect setup, and it worked really well. So once you've connected these connections, you want to now connect the camera to the gimbal, and that's to be able to push on the back of the camera, on the back of the gimbal, sorry, if I just turn that around. On the back of the gimbal here, there's a record button, and when you connect the camera to the gimbal, you're allowed to start and stop recording from here. And you're also, at the moment, I have my turn wheel on aperture, so I'm able to change my aperture from the wheel that's in front of the gimbal. You can change that to aperture, you can change that to ISO, you can change that to shutter, whatever you need it to. You can focus, you can pull focus with it, but at the moment I've got it on ISO, sorry, correction, ISO, my ISO setting. So what you want to do is you want to stick this into your USB-C connection. So into the USB-C connection, I hope you can see that. And what you want to then do is, on the Ronin, there is 3 USB-C ports on the bottom arm, and it's labeled quite good. So the one that has the RSS and the camera, that's where you want to connect your camera to. So you want to stick that into that connection there, and now you have got the start and stop ability on the camera. So once you open the Raveneye app, you should be able to visually see what the camera is seeing. Now, I haven't connected this wire yet, because without this wire you cannot active track. Yes, you can visually see what you're seeing right here. You can actually record, press the record button on your device, but what will happen is it will just record to the coach. It wouldn't actually trigger the camera. For you to be able to trigger the camera from the Raveneye, you need to connect this final piece to the puzzle. Now, if you notice on the bottom of the app, you've not got nothing else. You can just see the camera, and then you got all the other settings here where you can change, where you can check your overexposure, you can check your overexposure, you can check if it's in focus, and you can add LUT to it and stuff like that. And then you can check your whatever. You can go into, if you go into here, and if you notice, I cannot use the nothing because, you know, the Raveneye needs to be connected to the camera. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So what you want to do is, on the far side of the Raveneye, there is one USB-C port that you cannot miss that. You want to connect that, and then you want to put that into the third USB-C port on the Ronin SE, you know, arm where it says, where it has Wi-Fi and that little logo next to it. So you wanna skip the middle one and go straight to the end one. Now once that's connected, you should now see, once that's connected and I've, you know, I've taken the Ronin out of sleep mode and switch it on, you should now be able to see all the camera settings. So now you see I'm at f1.4 on here, and I'm at 1/50th of a second and 400 ISO. Now, if I wanted to active track something, I just draw a box around it like that. And once you draw a box around that, what you want to do is, if you move the camera up, the camera should follow. If you can see, it's following. It's following. Look, if you can see, I'm moving it up. It's copying, and it's really, really, really sensitive, you know. Look, see, it's recording. Let's record that. Record that. So I've just pressed record on the gimbal, and now if you look up, down, it's just amazing. All the way over to the side, it's literally doing a fantastic job keeping the subject in the middle. The great thing about this is the director, he can actually change all the settings if he wants to from the Raveneye's app, the DJI Ronin app. It's really, really amazing. Anything he wants to do, ISO, you know, if he wants to check, you know, what's blown out, he can. I mean, I can pretty much see everything myself on my screen, but if the person who's holding the phone wants to be able to do that, they can do that. And you can actually go into the force mobile, and we all know what that does. You know, if you want to, if you got a cameraman on it and you want to control the movement of the camera, you can actually do that as the director. It is such an amazing thing. And while I'm doing this, it's all filming onto my SSD drive on my Atomos Ninja, and it's actually recording into my phone's code. So whatever records on the phone, it's got no voice, no sound. It's just going to be for visuals, and you can cancel that. Let's recenter this thing, and you got the joystick. You can control the joystick from here if you want to. Let's enable joystick. So you can control the joystick if you want to from here. Obviously, you can do you can do so much with it. Look, recenter that again. Focus, if you have you can set focus from here if you have the focus modus from DJI, and you can actually change the active track. Whether you're filming this way or if you're filming that way, you can change it to portrait mode, so it understands the algorithms a lot better. Now, let's just stop recording there. Now, as I said, guys, this is my personal setup. This is how it's technically set up. You might not need the active track, then you don't need, you know, so many wires. You might just want to visually send the imagery back to the director or whoever else is on set that you want to be able to see the image without having to. Because the annoying thing of filming is that if you got to play back all the time, stop and play back, and that just eats into your time. Whereas if they can visually see what's been filmed right there and then, it's so good. Now, I'm a one-man crew. I do have an assistant sometimes, but I don't always have one, and this is perfect for me if I don't have an assistant, because whoever I'm filming with or filming for can actually see exactly what I'm filming, what I'm giving them on the day, and I can still have my high resolution, my Pro res quality image coming out of this camera into my Ninja V, and I can give that to the client. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying, guys, this is an amazing piece of rig. It will work It's the same with all cameras. You just have to get the correct wires to connect your camera, and that's for you to find out. I'm a Canon shooter, so I don't know much about the other camera. I do also have the Sony a7 III, and it works perfectly well, but it uses the macro HDMI port. It's got the little port. So you just have to get the right cables for the Raveneye to connect to your camera and connect from the Atomos Ninja into the Raveneye. So on that note, guys, really thank you so much for coming over to my channel and viewing this video. Like I said, I'm really sorry about not posting more content recently, but you know, family first, and you know, I've had a lot of family stuff to deal with. But I hope you really enjoy this. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're a return viewer, thanks again, guys. Thanks for the love. And until next time, peace out.